if you're interested in knowing how to calculate cash flow so you don't lose money on a deal, then stay tuned. Hey, what's up? My name is Henry. Welcome to The Wong Mindset. A lot of people get into rental real estate investing and they don't fully understand all of the expenses that go into it to calculate your cash flow. And when they get their keys, it's a little bit too late for that. All right, so cash flow is basically your income minus your expenses. So that's basically it. That's all you have to do. If you're going to sleep, you're still making that money. That's the money left over that you can spend. You can do whatever you want with. So when we talk about income, to calculate that, you gotta look on Zillow, you gotta look on Craigslist, look at a lot of the posts that are out there, and then check ones that are comparable in your location, that are a little bit nicer than yours, and then see what they're going for, right? So you know that's a good indication of where you're about to fit in. Check a few that are a little bit lower, that aren't as nice, but it has the same amount of rooms, bathroom, things like that, and then you fit right in the middle somewhere. And then definitely go conservative. Make sure you go in a little bit lower end for your math, right? Don't get aggressive thinking that you're gonna definitely get this price, because you never know until you get that place. And you definitely don't want to be stuck with a place after you get the keys and then you find out that you went a little too crazy with your math and now you're not making any money and you're just paying for someone to live in your house. That is really sad. And then you're just praying for appreciation and somehow that justifies it, right? Because you can never count on appreciation. That'd be nice to have, but that's not a guarantee, right? Don't count on that. So make sure you do your math right. To calculate expenses, you pretty much have to look at mortgage, your property tax, your insurance, 10% for vacancies, 10% for maintenance, and then 10% for taxes. For taxes, you basically, if you get a whole bunch of rent in San Francisco and you deduct your normal property tax, your mortgage interest, your depreciation, all those normal things, but you don't have any special renovations that year, you could be in for a big old tax bill. So you want to make sure you factor in 10% for taxes. And then for the other expenses, you got to look at a mortgage calculator, plug it in, see what mortgage is going to look like. Your property tax, make sure you go and check what your local property tax looks like. For insurance, you can get a pretty good idea with these apps. Even if it's not exact, that's fine, because it's not that much. For vacancies, if it's vacant for a month in the whole year, like you factor that in, that you have enough money to cover that. For maintenance, you want to factor in 10% in case you have to do any kind of updates, maintenance, repairs. You want to factor in 10% for that. Besides that, you should also look at if there's any reoccurring expenses like landscaping or any utilities that you have to cover. Make sure you factor that in. Do your research, see if you have to pay anything like that. Income minus expenses, that's your cash flow. That's your extra money. But then what is enough, right? So what is a good deal? At the end of the day, it really depends, right? If you live in San Francisco and you get like a really low percentage, but that number is still huge, I think that's still worth it, right? So you have to think about it. So one way to calculate if a deal is worth it is look at the cash on cash return, right? So basically, you take what your cash flow is potentially gonna be, right? You take that number. So let's just use an example. Let's just say you can get rent of $3,000 and all your expenses combined is $2,000. So you're gonna get $1,000 worth of cash flow per month. You take that 1,000, you multiply by 12 for the whole year, right? So that's your yearly income, and then divided by the money that you put down to buy this property. So with that number, say 1,000 for 12 months, and then your down payment was $100,000, right? So if you do it that way, that's about 12% cash on cash return. I would usually do a deal in San Francisco right around 5%. That's what happens, right? Because these are $1 million. If you get like a place around here, that's just the number I go with, right? But maybe you want 12, maybe you want 20. Who knows? That's just up to you. Who cares? First look at the cash on cash and then look at the actual cash amount, right? Maybe you're okay with that. Maybe like, oh, I get an extra $1,000, I get $2,000, but that was only 2% cash on cash. What? You're not gonna do it? Like, I still do it, right? If you get to own a place, long-term appreciation, and you get that kind of cash flow, it really depends on your situation. Think about it, see what's worth it to you. So one thing really important is do not ever overpay for a property. So if you look at a place, you think the cash flow is looking, oh, all right, it's looking decent, not bad, but then you get a little emotional, right? And then someone bids a little bit and you get a little crazy, and then you might get to a point where it's real tight, like your cash flow is real tight, and then possibly maybe you can go negative. No, don't do that. You're screwing yourself if you even consider a deal like that, right? So there's always going to be another deal. Be patient, put your best offer out there that will make money. And if they take it, great. If not, who cares? On to the next. Also, if there is a really good deal out there, right? And then it's right in front of you and the seller wants a little bit more. Don't let a good deal slip for a couple $1,000. Make sure if it's a really good deal, if they just want, maybe they countered a little bit, don't just give up on it and say, you know, hey, get emotional that way and say, you know what, I want to play games, right? This is my offer, that's it. If you look at what they're offering, if you calculate, if it's still making money, meet them halfway maybe. Try it out, right? You never know. Put it out there and then see where it goes, right? So that's how I got my last deal. So I made sure that I showed that I was actually interested. At the last step, they countered, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to keep playing these games, but you know what? I really want this place, and it makes sense. Let's put a couple thousand. Let's meet them halfway. Whatever they countered, I met them halfway, and at the end of the day, it worked out. I got the deal, and now it's great, right? I'm so glad I got it. And then if I let it slip for just that little bit, that is just giving up those opportunities, because opportunities don't always come up. You need to take advantage. You need to, if a good deal comes up, do not let it slip for dumb reasons. So never go in with negative cash flow, ever. Because if you go into a deal first day knowing that you have negative cash flow, first off, you don't even know how negative you're gonna be, right? You're gonna go and you're thinking, I could cover $100, and then you get hit with all these different things that you did not see coming, because they always happen. They always happen. So make sure you never go negative. If you go negative, you're really setting yourself back, because what happens is now your whole goal of collecting cash flow to cover all your expenses is not happening. You just went back a couple $100, couple $1,000, whatever it is each month. That is not a good idea ever. There's always going to be another deal. No one's going to buy up every place. Make sure you do not buy a place with negative cash flow. That's crazy. So when you're looking at a place, one thing I suggest is you look at places where you can add value, right? Like places that just need little minor updates, surface level things that are not major, and that you can just update, and then you can get a little bit more cash flow, get a little bit more equity, things to work with, right? That's really easy. If you just find a place that just needs a little bit of work and just don't think about it as, oh man, this place is ugly. I don't care how ugly it is. I just care if it makes money. If it makes money, I don't give a crap. After using everything I've learned about calculating cash flow, I can go into a deal with confidence that I know I'm gonna make money. So I can really go in and pursue a deal, right? With confidence. So hopefully in this video, you are able to learn how to calculate cash flow, how to analyze a deal, and to see if it makes sense. And then at the end of the day, if it's a good idea for you to invest in it. Please leave a like on this video. And I'm making a bunch of these videos, and hopefully it's going to be helpful to you and help inspire you. You know, I've learned a lot in the last couple of years, and I really want to share it with you and hopefully inspire you to do some of the same things, because it is really amazing once you get all of these things under your belt. And it's just, it's so nice to have all of these things and this mindset that I have, all of the things I've been able to accomplish. I really believe anybody can do this if they really want it enough. Do you want this? Then subscribe, and if you have any videos you want me to make, or if you have any feedback for me, leave a comment, and I'll take a look. I'll take a look at all the comments, and I'll make sure to respond. And thanks for watching. So I'll chat with you in the next one.